Hello, everybody. We're back again. We're talking sports on Sportstake. This is our 48th episode. Soon we'll be at 50, and that'll be a landmark. Mr. President, that should be a dinner for our 50th episode, and we invite everybody. But so much is happening in the world of sports. But before that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, who I used a week ago. Everything went smooth. And talk about a Rocket sponsor.
Hey guys, just want to let you know that we had the good fortune of moving Mr. Carl Baruti Alexander on last Saturday. We had several stops and we made sure his move was efficient and smooth. And that sponsor would be A Rocket Moving and Storage, second generation owner DeAndre Sam, located at 3401 Quarter. The sponsor of this fine show with the gentleman and who's going to be on here tonight, and we're going to enjoy ourselves and talk about various things going on in the world of sports and some other things that are various to what we're talking about. But A-Rocket Moving and Storage is a full-service moving company established in 1959 by DeAndre's parents, Herbert and Arlene Sam, is second-generation owner now by their son, DeAndre Sam, and we do commercial, residential, full service moving. We do storage. We have a 62,000 square foot warehouse. So we can accommodate any type of move you have. So no job is too big or too small, but if we can't, we'll direct you in the right direction. So give us a call, 713-748-6024, located in 3rd Ward at 3401 Quarter Street. A-Rocket Moving and Storage.
I just want to say we had 4 stops. And those of you that have daughters, kids, you know that they are complicated, but everything went just fine. My daughter was very happy, and I'm very happy, and it will work very well. And I'm ready to use them again as soon as I move again. Hopefully that won't be for a long time, but I thank you again, Phil.
You're welcome.
All right.
Well, they used to come to my building all the time and move us from one floor to another. So I was very, very familiar.
And that building is what, Jeffrey, with the federal?
Yes. They would come over to the Gessner office all the time. I would see them all the time over there. And you guys always did an outstanding job.
Yeah. And that's with the tax. And that's with the tax.
Top-notch movers. Check them out. Say that address again.
It is 3401 Quarter, A-Rocket Moving and Storage. And Jeffrey,
phone number?
And the phone number, 713-748-6024. Mention my name and we may be able to work out a nice little discount. Philip Green. Work out. And I did a little something for Carl to make sure his move was plausible too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Jake Hicks, I have a question for you.
What's up, man?
Okay. Is Scott Scheffler approaching Jack Nicklaus arena as far as wins? He's won how many nationals now?
3.
He's a long way to go to get there.
He got a long way.
He's got a long way to go. He's playing very well. He's playing really well. He has a long way to go.
He's the most dominant golfer. Maybe what's his name? Bronson Chambo. He might be good also, but he's the name that you hear about all the time. And when he's in the running, people are concerned because they know he may win. Jason, what you say about that?
I say he's a machine. He's an absolute machine. We haven't seen anything like this in a long time. He said it himself after he won the Open last week. He said any comparisons to Tiger are silly, which, I mean, we know that, you know, he's not even in that stratosphere yet. And quite honestly, probably will never get there. Tiger Woods set the bar so high that I think Michael Jordan set the bar so high that not even LeBron can get there, and Tiger set the bar so high, no one else is going to be able to get there. That's my opinion on those 2 players. I do think that Scottie Scheffler has cemented himself as the greatest player since Tiger Woods. I think he's now passed Rory McIlroy in terms of dominance from week to week, year to year, and through the majors that he's been able to accomplish. But So I'll give him that. I'll give him the greatest sense, Tiger, but he's not gonna. He's way behind in that argument.
Any more comments on golf? Scott Shepard.
He's just he doesn't have an extraordinarily dominant part of his game. He's just very consistent. But if you look at the way he plays, you know, Rory McIlroy's short game has been better. Ludwig Oberg's putting has been better. DeChambeau's driving has been better. And when Tiger played, he had his swing speed, his swing power was untouchable. There's no part of Scottie Scheffler's game that's really untouchable. He's just extraordinarily consistent. So he's always top 5, top 10. But I wouldn't say there's any one thing that just puts him completely out of the field, like Jack Nicklaus had, or like Tiger had. Even, there can be a guy who's just as consistent. Minwoo Lee. If you're as consistent as Minwoo Lee on any day, you can beat Scottie Scheffler, and he did. So I think that's just the hard part for Scottie. Although he's a great golfer, he made $60 million this year. He's doing fine.
Pretty good.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Talking about unbeatable, is Alexander Usyk approaching that arena, or has he not had enough fights? I watched this last fight. That was pretty dominating. And just beating Tyson Fury twice, you got to consider him pretty tough. But he hadn't really had enough fights. But what do you think about his career so far? What you think, Phil?
Right now, I mean, there's not a lot of guys that can compete with him. I mean, you can hardly name 3 or 4 top heavyweights that ring a bell and you go, wow, he's pretty good. But right now he's beating whoever they put in front of him, and that's all he can do.
That's true. That's true. What you think, Jason?
Well, I mean, let's see. He won the gold medal. He unified the cruiserweight division, which hadn't been done since Evander. He unified the heavyweight division, which hadn't been done since Lennox Lewis. No one's ever beat him.
That's right.
I think the only person that might be able to beat him is Father Time. He's 38 years old.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And he gets all of us. But it's the heavyweight division. It's the heavyweight division. He's going to fight this kid named Joseph Parker, who's got a big punch. And it's a heavyweight division. So anybody that connects can put you down. So he's not unbeatable, but I'd be surprised. My guess is he retires undefeated.
Wow.
I think
styles make fights. And on any given night, you can get knocked out on any given night.
Yeah, that's true. But his style is a little different, that you really can't get a good punch. Like you fighting against, what was his name? Wilder. At any time, he might connect and that be the fight. But Alexander Usyk's defense and the way he got it set up is difficult to get to him.
Great point.
Tyson Fury found that out.
Well, hey, Carl, 1 second. I got to take this contractually
go ahead, brother.
Conducted call from Clarissa. She's called. Hey, Clarissa, I am so sorry. We can't talk right now. Carl hasn't been training. He is not in shape, and you should not fight him. Go ahead and fight. Go ahead and fight Layla. Okay, I'll tell you why. You heard that? She just called.
Jason, I have said that I could train for give me 2 months, and I think I can whoop her. The brothers disagree, but I think you give me a chance at 15 million, I'll take her. I think I will. But
Jason, that's the committed part of the show.
I wouldn't get a chance. But
first round.
What do y'all think is this fight gonna happen with Layla Ali? I don't think so. But
I don't think so. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's more or less just them trying to sell a fight. I don't think that they should fight. I think that Ali has been retired for like 17 years. She's gonna be 48 years old later on this year. That lady is old enough to be Clarissa Shields' mother. That is ridiculous for her to get in the ring with Clarissa Shields. That wouldn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You don't get in the ring at 48.
Of course, Tyson got in the ring, and that's what people are comparing it to. But he shouldn't have gotten in the ring either.
Yeah, exactly. He embarrassed himself. Lennox Lewis embarrassed
I
him.
don't know if he embarrassed himself for how much money it was. I might have done it too. I will get in the ring with Clarissa Shields. Pay me $1 million, I'll get in the ring, and then I go to the doctor afterwards. But you know, I don't think I get that opportunity. But let me ask.
I don't see it. I don't see it. But they can make this fight if the money is there. And if Ali is motivated, they can make the fight, but I don't think that she should fight. I think Shields will knock out.
I don't think she should fight either, but who are we to say turn down $15 million if they putting it in front of her?
All money is not good money. That's all I say. All money is not good money. Jason, what you think?
We'll see what happens. But we are still in, I guess, the post-draft period and the NBA trade and free agent area. Jeff, what's going on? Give us a report.
Well, right now, a lot of teams is trying to catch up with OKC. OKC won it, and they look convincing, and they're young, and they was able to keep all of their players coming back this next season. They was able to give big contract, give extensions to their 3 key stars, totaling $822 million. Yeah, $822 million between their 3 stars that they just gave extensions to. So they're going to bring back the same team, but everybody in the NBA know that they have to catch up with OKC. So you see what Houston did. They went out and made the trade to get Kevin Durant, then came back and signed Dorian Finney-Smith, which I thought was an outstanding pickup. Then came back and picked up Clint Capella, which I thought was also an outstanding pickup. And then just 3 days ago, came back and picked up Josh Okogie. I love Josh Okogie's game. I think he's going to fit in real well on that second unit, playing in the backcourt with Reed Shepherd. I think he's going to solidify that second team backcourt. So I love all 4 of those guys that they're bringing in. The only thing I didn't like was giving up Cam Whitmore for 2 second-round picks. But it is what it is. I hated that happening. I really wanted to see them keep Cam Whitmore. That's the only thing I didn't like what they did. But other than that, I give them an A- for what they have done. An outstanding job.
As far as NBA teams, who did well with the free agency as well as trades, draft picks? Who's a better team than they were last year so far? Anybody?
I got 2.
What you think?
Go ahead.
I got 2. Number one, and to follow up on Jeff, 2 things. OKC won the NBA championship, and they have the most, on top of that, they have the most draft capital of any of the NBA teams for the next 7 years.
They do.
30 teams have draft picks for the next 7 years. The team with the most draft capital is OKC, and they just won the championship. So that's scary.
Exactly.
Especially because they're in our conference.
Exactly.
Rockets, fantastic. I know I watched you guys talk about this. Phil was kind of worried about what we were giving up, but I'm going to agree with Jeff on this one. It was peanuts in the grand scheme of things. And to ease Carl's worry, the chemistry is going to come together real nice. It's going to, all these pieces, they did a really good job of how they line these pieces up, and it's going to fit together very nice. I think we're going to have the best team we've seen since these boys right here behind me. I'm really excited as to what the Rockets did. Now the best move in the offseason so far is kind of under the radar, but it was the Atlanta Hawks stealing a draft pick from the New Orleans Pelicans. They dropped from pick 13 to 23.
Yep.
And then to do that, they got an unprotected pick for next year. The Pelicans will probably end up in the lottery. So they traded what was this year's 13th pick for the 23rd pick and potentially a top 3 pick for next year. So that was the single best move. I mean, I think Philip said this on a few episodes ago. They're nobody until you make the picks, but you got to put yourself in a position to be able to make the picks. And I think Atlanta Hawks did that with the trade with the Pelicans.
I have to mention, when you mention the Pelicans, they have to come to grips with whatever they're going to do with Zion Williamson. Are you going to trade him, or are you going to influence him to get up to par? Now they hired Joe Dumars to try to lead that charge. So let's see if Zion because we know the talent that he has, but is he mature enough at this time where you're not wasting, your investment, your time, and so forth? Now they made a big move getting rid of C.J. McCollum for Jordan Poole, so we'll see if that pays dividends also. Any comments?
Let me give you a couple more teams. I'm sorry.
Hold on, Jeff.
Hold on,
Jeff. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Jake, you have any comment?
I'm feeling Jeff was going to mention Denver.
Yeah.
They killed it.
That was good.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been on tracking the waiver wire and the trades and the additions. But
I was going to mention Denver, man.
Done stole up thunder.
Denver's done a really good job.
So you think Cam Johnson is going to make a difference?
Yeah,
yeah.
They also picked up Jonas Vassiliounas. They picked up Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown. But another team you got to keep an eye on? The Clippers. The Clippers picked up Brook Lopez, John Collins, Chris Paul, and Bradley Beal. I like what the Clippers did.
Bradley Beal gives me no inspiration or anything.
Bradley Beal can play. Bradley Beal can play on the right team. Bradley Beal can play. Chris Paul, Brook Lopez, and John Collins. That's a heck of a haul right there.
Well, we'll have to see what John Collins, the John the Baptist does, but I don't know. When he was with the Hawks, he did pretty good, but he didn't do anything with Utah. So we'll have to see what's going on. I think
what the Clippers did was more impressive.
Go ahead, Jeff, my fault.
I'm sorry, my fault. I think what the Clippers did was more impressive than what the Rockets did. I'm going to tell you why. Because the Rockets had to give up a lot of draft capital, had to give up a lot of players to be able to get Durant. The Clippers didn't hardly have to give up anything to get these players that they got. The Brook Lopez, Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, John Collins, the only one they traded for. The other guys, they were pretty much free agents. So they didn't have to give up any draft capital or any of their star players. Houston had to give up Jalen Green, and they had to give up what's his name, Dylan Brooks. So I'm just saying, I like what the Clippers did. The West is going to be tough.
I still say it's going to end up OKC, Houston, and Denver, just like this past year in the West. Now in the East, it's going to end up New York. I think Cleveland regular season, but Cleveland has not proven that they can win in the playoffs. Detroit is going to make a push. I'm not sure what Milwaukee going to do, but they still have the ingredients anytime you got Giannis. So we'll see what is going to happen overall. Phil, what do you think about NBA, what's going to happen?
Well, it's a lot of variables that you guys threw out there. It'll make your head swim, but like I like to think, until that ball bounces and those hoops are running, the ball is the season starts, it's really, really hard to really predict that stuff. But it looks good on paper. It sounds good as GMs and owners, tout their teams in the preseason and in the regular season. But every year it comes down to the playoffs. Upsets happen. Sometimes teams become dominant like OKC. But, man, it's going to be really, really tough to get past those guys in the West, even the teams in the East, because they're building everything, capital for the future. They're ready now, presently. And, they're well coached, but I just like to wait and sit back. I don't like to make too many, I'm not going to say right when it starts, then I pick this team, but it's an wide open situation, I think, in the West more so than the East.
I like what the Atlanta Hawks did, Carl. The Atlanta Hawks coming away with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, coming away with moving up and getting Derek Queen, also picking up Luke Kennard, also picking up trading for Kristaps Porzingis. I like what Atlanta did. I think the East.
They have to rebuild their culture. Their leader is Trae Young. Is he a leader? Is he a winner? They have to rebuild their culture. Their culture has fallen down. I don't even think they made the top 8 last year. And they supposedly had the talent, but they got to change their culture to become a winner. Simply, that's the simple fact, in my opinion.
And I think
Jason, I have an important question for you.
Oh, go ahead. Okay.
The WNBA are the should the owners and the NBA pay them as a PR move?
To me, it's too big a business to make a PR move. That's just me. The way that I see it is these guys, they've been losing money for 27 years straight. They're finally going to turn a profit. The ladies signed their CBA, and then they got this $2 billion media deal with Disney. So it was bad timing, but they're finally going to turn a profit. In 2026 will be the first year that the league will turn a profit. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. But it finally is. It finally is. And so I think the ladies should get a bigger piece of the pie once the coffers have been refilled some. You got Outgo for 27 years. That needs to come back a little bit so we can replenish the money that was going out. But once we get it stocked up a little bit, let's pay the ladies, because that's the reason they're being successful, is we have a new group of young women that are, you know, holding our attention and commanding us to watch, which we really didn't have. I mean, we had Cheryl Swoop, Cynthia Cooper back in the day, and we like to watch that. But it's been a while since we had this many talented players on the court at once. And so let's pay the ladies.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Me and Jason agree. Pay the ladies, man. Even if the NBA players have to get back 1/2 of 1% of their salaries, that's enough to give these ladies about a 52% pay hike. I've already done the math.
Wow.
Each NBA player give up 1/2 of 1% of their salary, and we put it into a pot for the ladies to go into the WNBA, and that would give them a 52% pay increase.
Jake, you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it. A lot of this is an ecosystem that kind of all feeds into itself. You know,
I know y'all hear the background. We might get shut down, but we should be okay.
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
Oh yeah, but it all feeds into itself. You know, I mean, little girls that watch WNBA will probably watch the NBA, and those families will sit around and watch the NBA because their daughter wants to play basketball. So you watch the NBA, and then the WNBA is the only thing they can really aspire to be if you're a little girl in America, and so that wants to play basketball. And so it all feeds into itself. I think the sharing a little bit of what the NBA makes sense. But at the same time, I do agree with Jason. You have to let the WNBA owners get some value.
I understand that. Let me just say my standpoint. Phil, go ahead with your standpoint first.
Well, if you look at every show we've ever had that had anything to do with the WNBA, my stance has never changed. At some point in time, it will be a successful league. Now, Jason pointed out that definitely it's going to finally turn a profit, but it has been entertaining slowly but surely. It has matriculated to get where it is now. I've been watching it from day one. I got championship hats from the Comets all 4 years. I didn't go to the games, but I watched it on TV. And basketball talent is a little different. It's kind of like when you see a good player, you know it unless they get hurt. And Jason's right about another thing. There's tons of good players. I don't think it's just a few. I think there's a lot. I mean, every team has at least 2 or 3 players, definitely 2, who can hold their own with any other team. You could intertrade them, any team that would be successful. So the league itself, making it this far, and if it finally turns a profit like we think it will and says it will, they're going to be just fine because the players are going to keep coming. It's not starting. It's here. And I've said the progression is coming slowly. And finally heard Jeff say something good about the WNBA. Thank you, Jeff.
I'll say
look at Al Freeman, and Al Freeman's not on here tonight talking about they should play in bikinis and show some highlights. Yeah. Come on,
He's
man.
always said that.
I've always said every WNBA player should have a OnlyFans account, and hey, that's an extra source of money. However, salary-wise, I think they could get a 15%, even a 25% raise. I don't agree with you, 52%. That's going a little bit too fast, a little bit too far. because they got to recoup some of that money. If I'm the owner, I got to try to recoup some of my money, but I am going to invest, keep investing, because I think it is going to turn. You start putting in, what's the girl at USC field?
Juju Watkins?
Juju and some of
Juju?
the other
Oh yeah,
ladies.
she's on the way. That's another
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And so it's only going to get more profitable and better. And with the new teams in, you got Toronto, Cleveland,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
another
Detroit,
thing.
and a few
Expansion.
more. And now I wish they would put Houston, but Jeff really did
That
make
would
a
be
good
nice.
comment last time. They tried so much here and they fell down. I just think it's a different environment today, and a smart person with money would invest in it, but maybe the WNBA doesn't even want to try that in Houston again. But I think it was a very good investment. Guys, do you have any idea, or who would you choose to win or be in the WNBA championship? WNBA. Can you name 2 teams that you think?
I can, but I let the guys go first. All right, go, Jason.
I'll go. I won't go out on a limb here. I'll go back with the Liberty. I mean, they've got their core back, and they won it last year. They're looking strong, and they're bringing Massaman back after a few years to play. She's going to provide, extra depth, versatility. I got the Liberty. I mean, the Lynx are a great squad too. I mean, they got the league MVP. They definitely have a chance. I don't want to sell them short. If I'm picking one, it's the Liberty. If I'm naming a second, I'll go Lynx as my backup.
I'll go right with you on both of those. That's who I choose also. Anybody else want to name 2 teams?
I'm going with New York Liberty and the Lynx in the finals.
Anybody got?
I think those are the best 2 teams. I think those are the best 2 teams.
Jake.
Those are the best
right,
2.
So,
those are the best 2. But I like watching the Fever.
Go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say,
Jake, what do you say, Jake?
I like the Liberty and the Lynx, but I like watching the Fever and I like watching the Sparks.
Okay. Now there you go. Now I got one more. Here you go. I'm going to throw a sleeper team in there that no one said. That's why I wanted to go last. The Seattle Storm is a team you should probably pay attention to.
Yeah.
I watched them a few times. Yeah. And they're capable of beating any of the teams you guys just named, New York or Minnesota. But I want to say, I'm going to flip the script a little bit here. I think Minnesota's going to win it. I think they're hungry. They got there last year, and they felt they should have won it then, too. New York is definitely the favorite, no question. But Seattle sleeper, New York and Minnesota probably the better 2 teams. That's just my opinion.
You think New York is better than Minnesota?
Yeah, but I think Minnesota's going to win it this year. I think they're more hungrier. They were there last year. They thought they should have won it last year.
Okay.
And they got the league MVP.
And Nafisha is tough. She is hungry. She is she's the MVP. When you got a leader like that,
all-star team. Yeah,
exactly. But if you got a leader like that with a good team, they can do it. But I like Seattle. I've been watching Seattle, and there's something about them, kind of reminds me of teams I've seen in the NBA playoffs. So you never think they're going to sneak up on you and win. Yeah. I'm a little older than most people here, so I would say like Golden State in 75 and Portland in 77. Nobody saw those teams coming, and they just bam. That's a little while back for you guys, though.
The Seattle team reminds
Golden State was Rick Barry.
There you go. There you go. Phil Smith was a rookie. Jamal Wilkes was a rookie. They had a great team. Rick Barry led.
I have a question for you. Will the Commanders and the Guardians change their name?
Because of Trump. We come out because of Trump, guys.
Give us some Indians and Redskins back. I want them.
What y'all think? Are they gonna fall for that? Uproar it would be
this is all Donald Trump.
It's too late now. They done already took it away, man. You can't do that. They should have left it alone, but they took it.
Why is he touching that? Why is he touching that?
Because he can.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Talk about this, so we don't have to talk about this.
Then that means we got to go back and take Lamar and change them back in some of the high schools, some of the streets.
Johnston Junior High. The school.
Yeah, that's right. Our junior high call, they got to go back to being Johnston and not Maryland.
All that stuff. Hey, Jeff, what is going on with football camp, the NFL, and who is looking good? Aaron Rodgers is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, RK Metcalf. I think that is his name.
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. So who's looking good for football, and when does it start?
Well, the first preseason game for the Texans is August 9th. So that's roughly less than 2 weeks from now, about 2 weeks from now. That's about 2 weeks from now. They play in Minnesota, and then they play on my birthday. They play the Panthers on my birthday. That's the second preseason game. And then they play the Lions on the 23rd, and that'll be their third and final preseason game. But I like what the Texans have done this offseason. I like what they've done. I like the receivers they got in the draft. That Noel guy, Jalen Noel guy, oh, that guy. And Higgins, both of those guys, they gonna add a lot to this team. Those two guys. Now, of course, the offensive line got to block. You got to give the quarterback enough time to find his receivers. But I love those two receivers they added. Outstanding. I love what they did in the draft.
I agree.
Go ahead, Jason. You have any comment about upcoming football?
Well, the only thing I'll say is to agree with Jeff. I love those two Iowa State receivers that they added. I think that Higgins could be a Nico light player in that he's tall, he can go over the middle, he can run fast. I see a lot of Nico game in his, and then Noel is just like how would
Tank?
He's a lot like Tank. Yeah, I don't think he could be covered. He's one of those guys
he's better than Tank, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
So do
better
you
than
think
Tank?
The
If
Eagles
he's better than Tank, we hit the jackpot.
Favorite again?
Yeah. Say again, Carl. What was your question again, Carl?
Do you think the Eagles and the Chiefs need to be the favorite again? Anybody got a disagreement with that?
Oh, wow. It's so early. It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. Wow. Jason, I'm gonna let you guys handle that.
Washington come along like they did last year, but just fell a little short.
Jason, I'm gonna let the A students take on, but you go ahead, Jason.
Well, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the NFL, and that's the reason we watch every year. Is there's somebody that finished fourth in their division that's going to make the playoffs this year, and from year to year, you can come up or you can fall back quickly, and so. I don't know who I think is going to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. I just love to watch. So I think the Commanders will take a step back. That's my opinion. I think they're going to take a step back. I feel like Daniels might have some of the same situation that Stroud had last year. You come out on such a high level that once they start to learn how to defend you, then you can slow down just a little bit. It happened to CJ last year. I think the same thing will happen to Daniels this year, though I love Daniels. Daniels won me my fantasy football league last year, so I'm all in on Daniels.
Okay. Jake, what you think, Jake?
The one thing that happens in the NFL that hardly happens anywhere else, and it's so frustrating, is that coaches will get in the mindset that if a player performs well, let's play to his strengths and make him perform more. No, not in the NFL. Don't do that. Jaden Daniels plays really well. He moves well. He scrambles. He makes things happen. They need to not adopt the mentality to make him do that more. They need to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe get a fullback in there. Maybe, 22 personnel. Figure out some way to run the ball, because that was the big thing that helped the Eagles. The Eagles struggled for a long time because they were dependent on the big play. And you get Saquon in there. You're able to keep the ball on the ground if you have to.
Yeah.
And in the game of football, it's evolved in so many ways. But, man, being able to get 3-4 yards when you absolutely need it is gold. And if the Commanders can figure out a way to run the ball effectively and not put their entire game on Jaden Daniels, and I agree with Jason, if that's the Commanders' philosophy going into the year, to put everything on Jaden Daniels, he's going to slow down because everyone's going to defend against him a lot better than they did last year. He's still a great player, but we see great players fail every day in the NFL. It's just the way it is. And also the injury rate's 100%. And so you got to be really careful with your stars. But if the Commanders can figure out how to run the ball, they have tough receivers. They have tough D line. They can be a really good team. They just can't fall into that trap of trying to let JD carry them the whole way. Eagles still look really good. I mean, barring injury, they have a really good, really well put together team.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Quick question, Paul. I want to ask the two guests. Just your opinion, Jason. I'm gonna start with you. How many games do you think the Texans can win this year?
You know, I'm usually a little skeptical. I mean, that's my team. But if they won 9 games, 10 games, I think that would be a good season for them. Sadly, I wish I could say 12. I wish I could say they were going to go 12-5, but I don't see it. Not with this O-line. I think 9 or 10 wins would be a good season for us.
Okay.
And to sneak into the playoffs because our division is weak.
Oh, okay. So 9. You think 9 and 8 be enough to get in the playoffs?
Maybe so. I'm not really impressed with our division. I think that 9 or 10 wins could get there.
Okay. What about you, Jake? How many?
I think 10 wins will be that's the benchmark you got to hit. And if you don't get 10 wins, you got to make some changes somewhere. But I think 10 wins. But who knows? I mean, you got to stay healthy. Trent Brown's already on the PUP list as of a few days ago.
Who's on the list?
Trent Brown.
Oh, okay.
Trent Brown,
my goodness.
Yeah, so they put him on the PUP list the other day.
Okay.
And that might just be a preseason thing. I don't know, but
I hope so.
Yeah. So you got to stay healthy because they signed some guys to help them up front.
Right.
But, you got to keep those guys healthy to make it make sense.
Right.
I think their offensive line has to be better this year, and they will be better. And one of the real problems last year, they were so predictable, as you was talking about. They couldn't run at the right time. They could never protect C.J. Stroud, and they still won 10 games. I think they'll win 11 games this year and be a little bit better and maybe go a little bit further. We'll see. Phil, what you think?
Hold on. D'Amico, what you say? I think Davis Mills got a chance to Carl needs to know that. Okay. Carl,
you
D'Amico
did not
just said
see the article I put in.
Davis Mills got a chance.
Somebody was talking to him about being traded. He said he's not going nowhere.
Tell him the inside joke, Carl.
He's at the top of his game.
Guys,
Jason, the backdrop is I was a proponent of Davis Mills being the starter and let's just build the offensive line. That's before I knew how good C.J. Stroud was.
But who told you how good C.J. was?
I'm still a proponent of Davis Mills as a very good one of the top backups. So I'm still down with it. Just like in basketball, I was down for Jock Landale. I don't believe that he got his due. They didn't need Clint Capella. He can shoot 3-pointers, but I digress. But I think you never know in football. It could be an injury. It could be just a collection of guys coming together, a new coach, the chemistry with that 11 players on the offensive side or the defensive side working together. It could be magical one year. The New Orleans Saints went all the way to the Super Bowl 1 year. The Chicago Bears went all the way to the Super Bowl 1 year, but they didn't get back. So look at what the Patriots did for that length of time. Was it all Tom Brady and Bill Belichick? Hey, it was a whole group of players. But those things can happen, and that can be magical in football. I think it's a little bit harder today to have a dynasty per se, but that's what makes it a great game. A question, Jake, will there ever be a football league to compete with the NFL? UFL has not made it. They got some other ones out there. Will there ever be another one?
I think it's definitely possible. Within the next, I'd say not within, probably about 4 or 5 years away from that becoming a possibility. Leagues have tried and they've failed mostly because they didn't have enough capital to engage in the markets they need to engage in. But eventually, there's going to be, at least as if things persist, there's going to be so much money being paid to college players, and they're going to be asking for so much more money as rookies that's going to be unsustainable for the NFL unless something drastic happens. So if nothing happens to rein that in, you could easily find investment from somewhere, maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe somewhere else, to put together another league where guys are going to get paid what they want. Because if you're a top offensive guard at Alabama and you're getting paid $4 million a year, and now all of a sudden you're a third round draft pick and you're getting paid 1.5 for 3 years, that's a pretty big difference. And that's just kind of what guards get paid in the third round. I mean, that's what a rookie contract is. And so at some point that can change if you find the investment from somewhere. The money's out there. The problem with the XFL and UFL is I think they just weren't timed correctly. And they were trying to pin themselves as a developmental league, which we need. Europe's doing a lot better job of that now than they used to. The EFL is actually doing a pretty good job right now. They're developing themselves. They're signing coaches from America. They have a lot of European players, which is really cool. They're modeling their jerseys after local European soccer teams, which everyone likes. So that's got, I think, become more of the developmental space. But really what the UFL, XFL was missing was time and capital. And if you solve the capital problem, you can solve the time problem. And I think we're 4 or 5 years away from that.
Jason, your comment on that. But we want to come back to that. You mentioned NIL and what's happening with colleges. We want to come back to that. Your comment on will there ever be a football league that rivals the NFL, Jason?
My opinion is that the NFL is a true American monopoly, and whatever issues that they face from any challengers will be met. And I don't think that we will ever see a football league that could approach the NFL. The one thing that I think that could bring the NFL down is, and they have a backup plan because we already see the commercials for it. But if humans start to realize how much damage that these guys are doing to their brains and to their bodies, and we really soak it in, and it becomes a turnoff to us. I mean, I cringe on every other play on someone getting their ankle broke or something getting twisted. So even when I'm watching Red Zone on Sundays, I kind of am cringing almost the entire time because I know how bad it is for these guys' bodies. So the only league that I think that could potentially overtake them is the NFL flag league that they're starting on the youth level now, that they're going to cultivate and bring up. And maybe one day our game that we know it today morphs into something more like a flag football game. That's the only thing that I think could overtake it.
I think we're a long way from that because the violence is the thing that attracts. And if they can convince people that, okay, we got this under control, and they put that out there, they market that they got it under control, it'll be a while before they can take that away. I agree that it's going to be hard to compete with the NFL. Other comments, Jeff, Phil?
Well,
go ahead, Phil.
The thing that Jason hit on that I definitely want to say is that how many of the NFL owners are not billionaires? They're billionaires with a B. So they can control a lot of what goes on. And like he said, they'll meet it with force. And until you break the veil of being in that billionaire club, just to get a franchise, you have to be in that club. So to start a whole new league, where are you going to get that many guys with that much money? All women in this particular case, because there's some billionaire women out there too, I'm sure. I don't know any of them personally, but of them, but I know they are, and they love sports too. So when you get that many people joining together for one common goal, it will be baby steps. Even if it does happen, it'll take time, but it can happen. It's not impossible, just not likely that I'll live to see it. But just look at the rich history of the NFL. It is so part of our fiber every Sunday. Two things we know is going to happen. People are going to go to church, and during football season, people are going to watch football. Maybe eat some fried chicken too, but that's going to happen. So on Sundays, but bottom line is football is an American sport that attracts a lot of money. I can't even imagine the money that's made. So yeah, there's possibility, like Jake said, could be happening in a few years, but it's baby steps. It won't overtake them. I don't think I'll never live to see that, but it will compete and see how they do them. Maybe they give them a little brother slap on the shoulder and say, we'll let you hang around, sort of like the WNBA is hanging around the NBA, needing a little feed, a little help. They carrying them, like Jason said, 27 years. And so now, maybe we'll let you have a little breathing room. But football is just a little different, though. That's a lot of guys, and you're trying to form as many teams as you can. So a lot of money floating around to get that started.
I think that's going to be difficult. I agree with you, Phil. I agree with you, Jason. That's going to be very difficult to do that, to come in with a new league and come in and compete against the NFL. Now, the question is, when is it going to be your season? Are you going to compete, go head to head with the NFL? Or are you going to have a season that's opposite the NFL season? That's going to be the next thing, because I don't see them being able to compete with the NFL. The NFL is a machine, and they've been around for decades. I don't see a team, a league coming in and competing with them. No time in the next 10 years.
No. Okay, but no, I'm not thinking of this as a brand new league that gets started and you have the Birmingham Bombers and the Houston Hat Tricks or whatever. That's right. No, it is a Alabama Crimson Tide professional, a Georgia Bulldogs professional league where you have the Super League of a Big Ten and SEC, which is already numbers wise dominating the NFL every Saturday. It's also close to dominating. It's definitely dominating NFL conferences in terms of TV rights. But just sheer numbers, there's a lot of talk about, the Big Ten, SEC, number one, splitting off, but then also, they lose some TV time and some talent every year to the NFL, which for the longest time has been okay because they were never going to get any of that money anyways. But now there's an opportunity to keep more of it. And just saying that could be, that would be the transition. So not a whole new league that has to play on Wednesday mornings or something, but a league that's a continuation of this Big Ten SEC thing that we see congealing right now.
Speaking of college, going back to what we were talking about, NIL, what is going to happen? Even the president is coming in talking about regulating it, but there has to be something that you mentioned earlier about the offensive lineman making $4 million and then getting an offer for 1.5 is going crazy. So what's going to happen? What you think, Jake?
Nick.
It's a wild world, man. We got that executive order yesterday. I had to look at it for some clients, and it says nothing new. It just says what the rule already is. Whatever. But yeah, we knew this was the problem, and that was a problem with NIL to begin with, is that as soon as you say guys can make money from their name, image, and likeness, what does an autographed baseball or autographed football, what value does that have? If Philip Green signs a football for me, has a lot of value to me, right? But if he signs it for someone who's never met him, doesn't know him from Adam, it may not be worth $1. And that's the thing, if you have a third string quarterback at the University of Texas, who everyone wants to keep at the University of Texas, they might buy that football for $1 million. And who's to say that that person that bought it doesn't value it that much? So even putting the legitimate, transaction limitation on things doesn't really help the situation at all. I think sharing in revenues helps a little bit, but then we have this weird, we have the Big Ten, the SEC, and then everybody else. And so I don't know what happens. I think at some point you would have to cap NIL money, which sounds crazy, and you would need a writ from Congress to be able to even do that, right? Because that would be another antitrust violation.
Yeah.
But there's going to have to be some proposal to Congress to either cap NIL or get guys, and the combination of getting guys on contracts with the school. And that's going to have to be what it is, where the school's going to pay you and you have to be there. You have a contract, they have a contract. If you want to leave, there's a buyout, and it's, you know, just professionals part two. And then there's going to be guys that can opt out of that, who don't want to be in a contract, who won't get school money, but can get, you know, can still sell their NIL stuff. There's talk about a clearinghouse of that, but it is upsetting because the more rules, there's going to have to be more rules. The more rules you put on college players historically, the more college players get unfairly punished by those rules. And that's always been the way it's been. I mean, you know, guys, you have a 18-year-old Reggie Bush whose mother's homeless, give her a home and take his Heisman away. It's just really, really hard. And so it's frustrating, but I mean, there's gonna have to be some complex web of rules to regulate it. And
they plan to do that, Jake. They're about to do that. They're gonna put a cap on the third party payments. They're gonna eliminate that, and that's what's gonna take a lot of the money out of the kids' pockets. Look for this within the next year to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be like antitrust. There might be another lawsuit over it. We might be through this whole thing again, but like I said, unless they go to Congress, like the NFL had to do in the 40s, and like Major League Baseball had to do in 1915, you got to get permission to collude, and so if they don't do that, it's not going to happen.
It's going to be interesting, and there's a clamoring for something to happen quick. And you talked about a couple of proposals or a couple of already rules that they have been talking about. So we'll see what's going to happen. But we know for the integrity of the sport, something got to happen. Jason, what's your comment?
It's above my pay grade. I'll be honest with you. The NIL it's a big pile of money. That's all I really see. I don't know much more than that. I kind of maybe call me old school. I like the way that we grew up watching college football. It's still good. It's great. The year to year free agency is a little bit of a struggle for me. I enjoy recruiting a guy. Now he's your guy for 3 or 4 years. You get to root for him. It's just not the case anymore. You get him, and I think they even had someone that transferred in the middle of the season now. So it's like, can I sink my teeth into this guy? I want to, but I don't know. He might be gone, next week. So I'm not as big of a fan of it.
And one thing that was never heard of, nobody ever transferred interconference. They even do that now.
Yeah, they do.
That was off limits. You're right, Bill.
Yeah.
I was just watching the Eric Dickerson special, and he was talking about his recruiting time. And of course, that ended up in SMU getting the death penalty and so forth. So a lot of that was wrong. He got penalized for having a $50,000 Trans Am, and his grandmother got money, and so which she needed, and so it was not fair in the past either. It was not fair in the past that these kids spent all that time and energy working for the school. The school got millions and millions of dollars, and they were barely able to eat. So that wasn't fair. So we need to have some type of happy medium. Hey, Jason, we're almost. Oh, go ahead, Jason.
Just to clarify, I agree that the players should be paid. I'm with you. There's no way you can have $1 billion corporation, I'll just say, making all of this money and then not share it with these people that are putting their bodies on the line. I was talking more about the transfer portal. It is kind of what is a little bit of a negative for me. But as far as NIL money, pay these kids their money.
And the transfer portal
I agree with that, and they got to find some equitable way and fair way, and make it fair for everybody, the school, the players, and even the fans. Hey, Jason, I saw you have an Astro cap there. Cup. and you're drinking from that. What do you think
Yep.
about the Astros this year? Are they gonna go back to the World Series?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, let's go ahead and give Joe Espada his credit.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got to be the front runner for manager of the year.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
mean, you know, we've got an entire rotation, starting pitching rotation on the IL. We've got our best player on the IL. We've got Pena on the IL. We have just, you know, so many injuries that they've dealt with. I've watched the game sometimes. I'm like, I don't know who this player is. And they got the best record in the American League, if not the right there with Detroit. As far as them making the World Series, I hope, you know, I mean, we had such a great run. It would be nice to continue for one more year. We've got a great 1-2 punch, and that's what when I'm going to make my World Series predictions, the team that has the best 1-2 punch, pitching wise, is the team that I usually like to favor, because
And
that
who
can
is
go.
that 1-2 punch you're speaking of?
Well, we got Hunter for us. It's Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez. That's our 1-2 punch. The one that scares me the most is the Detroit Tigers, Skubal and Flaherty. That's a great 1-2 punch too. So, and there's a reason that they have such a great record, is because, you know, they're an overall good team, and with those two top line pitchers, that really goes a long way when you start a series with those two guys. Skubal's almost an automatic win, and then now you just got to, you know, squeak out a win here or there to finish off the series.
Hey, Jason, you said Detroit? You said
Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Are you aware that they have lost 9 of their last 10?
I am aware of that. And I mean, that's and when we're talking about World Series predictions, you have to understand that the Major League Baseball playoffs are the most variable set of playoffs in any sport. An NBA series is usually won by the best team. An NFL playoff game is usually won by the best team. But a Major League Baseball playoff series, you're talking anybody can lose a series at any point. To Jeff's, you know, point there with the Tigers, look how many series that they've lost in a row. The Dodgers just went on a 7-game losing streak. The Astros lost 5 out of 6. At the time, those were the best 3 teams in baseball. Mm-hmm. So when the playoffs come around, you're talking a coin flip on any given MLB game. And when it comes to the series, it's a lot like that as well. So all I got, my fingers crossed, and we're playing the best baseball we can.
Doesn't it pretty much come down to the best pitching once you get into a series?
A lot of times, yes.
Now, I remember
your bullpen
back when they had Joe Negro, Nolan Ryan.
Richards.
They had the best pitching, but it just didn't work out. I think we lost to the Phillies that year.
That was 80.
Yep, we had them. We had them, Phil. You're right.
1980. We lost to the Mets.
Okay, lost to the Mets. I know. I watched all those games with Jose Cruz, Terry Poole, and that was the time. And I always thought we were going to get through it, but came up short. Mm-hmm. Jake, you have any comment about the Astros or baseball?
I'm excited for the Astros, man. I think. I mean, I've been to a few games. I'm excited. I think if we can get into a series, I like our pitching that we have right now. I think Josh Hader's been pretty dynamic, when he can stay healthy as a closer. You know, I like what they've been able to do with some pickups midseason, and I think they've done a pretty good job managing that team. If they just, you know, all you gotta do is keep on stacking wins. That's it. Yeah.
Sounds good. We're gonna see what they're gonna do, but we have the expectation as fans that they at least go get a long ways in the playoffs, and you know, we have a back of our mind expectation World Series. So we'll see what's gonna happen. We are at the end of our show, our 48th episode of Sports Take. I thank everybody. Mr. President, final word?
Final word is, hey, right now, everything is hot. You got the Astros playing well, sitting at 60-43, 5 games up on Seattle. You got the Texans from the start up. I think they're going to have an outstanding season. I see 11 wins, so I think they'll go 11-6. And I'm loving what the Rockets have done this offseason. So they be going to training camp at the end of September. So that's just 2 months from now. So that's going to be very interesting. So, man, sports in Houston is hot right now. Then I'm looking forward to TSU versus PVU at the end of next month, because I think PVU going to beat TSU. We going to beat them. We beat them 9 straight times. They beat us last year. We going to get it back. We going to beat them. So I'm looking forward to going to that game, guys. We going to the game.
Crowd, Jeff.
Exactly.
Tickets. All right, guys, final word, anybody you want to say?
Hey, since we were talking about baseball last, it's a real simple procedure that I like to go by. Hit it where they ain't. Good pitching stops good hitting, but good hitting stops good pitching. You have to combine that to where your team is better at the other team than that. So that's how you win baseball games. Managing is important too, because you got to understand the circumstances. Baseball is a thinking man's game too. It seems slow, but you make the wrong decision at the wrong time, you can cost your team a whole series, let alone a game. And it doesn't take but a split second for that to happen.
I agree.
Understood. Well, guys, we're at the end, and in 2 weeks, we'll be back every 2 weeks. If it's Friday, 7 o'clock, that's us in sports. We talking about it. And Jeff, we should go to as many events as we can out there with our shirts. I don't have mine on today, but we got our Sunny Five Side shirts, and we out there in the community, and we look forward to seeing people out there. We thank you. Jason, we thank you. Jake, we thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.